Hey, g'day. Well, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Sorry, you're gonna have to put up with the sunnies. It's a beautiful, bright winter's morning here in Australia. We're only just into winter. We don't get much of a season up here in Queensland, but much of a season change. But anyway, we've dropped a little. So, what's happening? Having a bit of a sneaky morning beer. Look at that. I don't know, you can see the creamy, like perfect bloody head on that. Cheers. This is my first true lager that I brewed, fermented at 12 degrees. Tried the Safale W3470. It's just this is just a partial mash. I used a kit and improved it with some extra grains and some extra hops. I put some, so what is this? This was a Cooper's Lager kit. Didn't use the Cooper's Lager yeast, obviously. I used the 3470 and added, I think I added a kilo of, what was in this one? Pale malt and some, I think it was about 300 grams of wheat malt. I haven't used wheat malt much, but I think that's what's given me this beautiful creamy head, so I'm going to try that. It's awesome. You could not tell that this was a homebrew. I've given a few people a taste of it, and they couldn't pick it. I hopped it with Pride of Ringwood in this one. I like the Cooper's Pale Ale, the actual beer, and I read that they use the Pride of Ringwood and Aussie hops, which is supposedly pretty common in Australian beers. So I don't have a lot of that hops, but I reckon that is the correct hops. It's got this nice strong bitterness, and I believe I put a little bit of caramel malt in there, like 100 grams. I think that's where I got this dark colour from. But anyway, I'm super impressed with my first lager, and so is everyone that I've given a taste of so far. So I don't think it'll last very long. Bottled a couple of them so that I don't. So when the keg runs dry, I've still got a couple to give away or to sample a bit later on. Yeah, pleased with myself with that. What's been happening? I've done a few things. Been ordering lots of parts. Been doing that over the last couple of months. So I reckon that's probably a pretty typical thing. Some of us get to go out there and spend a bunch of money, and I could probably do that too, but it's good to tinker. It's a good test of patience to just go and buy a few bits this week and a few bits that week, especially when you're ordering bits out of China and stuff. You know, you wait and see whether that turns up before you order the next bit and see if it was alright. I'm enjoying that process. So it's like Christmas every week when you get a little parcel in the mail. Been making a few beer labels, so I'm starting to give away a few bottles of beer here and there when I make some tasty brews. So pretty simple, just grabbing some pictures off the internet and making up some names to my beer, whack a label on. And I've noticed how people are a little more impressed or cheerful to take your home brew when there's a label and stuff on it rather than just a bottle with something scribbled on the cap. Once they've tasted it so far, they're coming back for more, so it's pretty good. Yeah. Anyway, it's just a Homebrew Wednesday. I didn't want to drag this out too long. I have done a video of some of the bits and pieces that have arrived this week, so I will flick you over to that and you can see quickly some of the stuff I got in the mail. I'll go from there. Been watching a few Effort Friday videos, finally realised what that's all about. I thought it was just Two Hands Brewing. I think it's Les. G'day mate, thanks for the subs. I just thought it was some wacky shit that he did mixing these lagers. But now I see there's a bunch of you doing it out there. And Big Banana Brewing, you're just excelling with your shit, man. I've commented on you that you're inspiring me to do some stuff. So I don't know if I'll do something wacky this week. I might try. I got to drop down to near my little craft beer shop tomorrow, so I might try and pick up a couple of beers there to see if I can get some separation with, and we'll work up to some innovative ideas. But man, pouring from your roof down to the first floor. It's going to be hard to beat, but we'll see. I've got cows, sheep. Come up with something creative. Anyway, I'm babbling. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers. See you later. Oh, fuck, that's good. Well, welcome to Homebrew Wednesday number 2. Actually, I'm not sucking on a homebrew. Bit rare, but I just picked up on a couple of these on my way home. So, it's an Australian mainstream beer, not even a craft beer. Shame on me. 2 years old. Don't mind me dark beers though. And this one's not a bad drop. Bit thin, but for a sort of a sessionable black beer. They say old dark ale. Yeah, it's pretty crisp. I would have thought it was a lager actually, but never paid too much attention to it. Not yummy beer though. Anyway, happy Homebrew Wednesday, as they say. I thought, got a lot of things happening at the moment in the brewery. It's very exciting. And I've got a few parcels to unpack, so I thought I might unwrap some of these while I'm here. It might overlap on some of my other builds, because I think some of my other videos I should say, a lot of these goodies are to do with bits and pieces that I'm building for the brewery, and I'm doing some progress videos on those. So first one, solid state relay. So that's going to be used in my for my temperature control in the brew in the bag system. So not sure if it's here yet, but so at the moment I just turn my elements on and off. Shouldn't go into too much detail actually. You have to watch the progress videos for my brew in the bag system. But solid state relay, that's going to be cool for the temperature control. And with solid state relays, if any of you are looking at using those things, what you definitely need is a heatsink. Pretty simple stuff. Should unwrap it. Relay goes on the heatsink. Voila, keeps it cool, because these switch really fast and get hot. Anyway, that's pretty cool. Well, most of these components have come from China, overseas. Obviously I'm in Australia. They're all pretty cheap. You can buy them out of China on eBay. Sort of cross your fingers and hope for the best, but I've got to be honest, it's less and less crossing my fingers these days. Just about everything turns up. Takes 2 or 3 weeks usually, but it gets here. Got to do your research and make sure you get the right quality components, but I just Google it, have a look, spend a lot of time researching, and then save yourself some money. Oh yeah, this should be a good one. I think I know what this is. But anyway, I've been doing a fair bit of brewing this week. Trying to get in the brewery a fair bit. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're not going to see much. It's a pulley system for my brew in the bag to lift the bag up. You'll definitely have to check out my brew in the bag update to have a proper look at that. I'll have a bit of a play off camera with that sucker. Looks okay. It's about what I thought it was going to be. We'll see. Oh yeah. You'll all know about these. I buy heaps of these. Well, I've bought heaps of these over time. An ST1000 temperature controller. These are awesome. Really great. You can heat and cool at the same. Well, at 2 different devices. So I wire them up to 2 different power points. If your temperature goes too hot, it'll turn on a cooling outlet, which you obviously plug into your fridge or your freezer. If your temperature gets too cold, it'll turn on a separate power point, which I plug in a 100-watt light bulb into it, and it'll heat that thing back up again. Some of the cheaper ones just have cooling. Well, you change the setting to either heat or cooling. These, and they're everywhere on eBay these days. I get them out of out of China as well for 13 bucks Australian, Aussie. If you buy them out of Australia, you pay about double that. But I've always got one on hand now for using from my fridges and keysers. Some guys seem to using them for their temperature controllers on their kettles, and I wouldn't have thought that would be a great idea, but it looks like people are using them. So hit me up in the comments if you're using them and they're working all right, and if they haven't failed. I'd be curious to know if they failed over time, or how close they can keep the temperature. So yeah, I'm going a bit more down the PID route.